Hey, JD here with ETV Live, and let me tell you something. If it's too big for the pickup truck and you need to move it, there's only one trucking company you need to call, and don't bother with the Yellow Pages Cowboy. I'll give you that number in a minute. Manufactured goods, automotive, technical equipment, furniture, even if you need a reefer, Gary Mercer Trucking Incorporated is the only choice, Cowboy. With locations in Mississauga, Ontario, Canada, Rancho Cucamonga, California, if you need to move it, store it, and keep it cold, you need to call Gary Mercer Trucking Incorporated. Long haul, short haul, or just across town, Gary Mercer has the best trained and qualified drivers to get your load from point A to point B with professionalism and on time. So remember, Hoss, if it don't fit in a pickup truck, you're gonna need a real truck, Cowboy. Sponsors of ETV Live's Friday Night Showdown, Gary Mercer Trucking Incorporated, 1-800-668-2980.
Welcome to the Friday Night Showdown. My name's Steven Esney. Alongside of me tonight will be Kyle Peddle. We're live at Michigan International Speedway for 100 laps of racing tonight. Kyle, tell us a little about what we're going to see tonight.
Well, today you're going to see a lot of action. It's a wide track. You can get 3-4 wide at the start, but we're going to see it kind of turn into a fuel mileage strategy as they'll sort of file in single file and see if somebody can break away from the pack.
Yeah, we have a couple different strategies of fuel as you talked about. I know there's the one-stop strategy and two-stop strategy. Tell us about the one-stop strategy.
Well, the one-stop strategy is here, since it is 100 laps, you're going to have to try to make it on one stop. So on the first run, you're going to have to save a little bit of fuel, and unfortunately that's going to allow the front pack to sort of get away from you. But after that, you're going to be, after the first pit stop, you're going to be on it for the rest of the race, and you're going to see how much time you can gain on these guys. But also, we have the two-stop strategy. Why don't you tell us about that, Steven?
Yeah, well, I did this in the practice races that I did. Two stops. Basically, you stop. I expect people to stop a little bit early. Maybe a little bit after lap 30, and might see our first stops at a race for those guys who know they cannot make it on one stop. And those guys will try to make it. And on two, they will be able to do that easily. They're going to try to gain time by pitting early, getting fresh tires, and really run wide open the whole race while the other guys save fuel.
Alright, so we're going to take a look at the points right now. And after 3 drops, in first place it's going to be Tyler D. Hudson with 295 points. In second is going to be Ryan Luza with 292 points. In third is going to be Brandon Jarrell at 288 points. And in fourth is Anthony Kernch at 245 points. And rounding up the top 5 in points is David Cater with 245.
Yeah, great points battle going on up front between those front 3. We'll get into that later. P6 right now is Wayne Seavey, 234, 61 out of the lead. Lauren Personette in 7th, Nick Zontner in 8th, Billy Weeks 9th, and Kyle McCormick runs out your top 10 at 223. Now I'm going to look at the 7 through 10. They're within 2 points of each other, so good battle there. 4th and 5th is tied, and the top 3 are within 7 points. We got lots of great points battles going on within the top 10 right now.
It's definitely going to be an interesting point battle here. We got Luza, who's been really fast, Hudson's been really fast, and Gerald's been really consistent lately with top 5s, top 10 runs, and a couple of top 3 runs. And now we're going to send it down to the Cactus Cuties for the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting
Huffman coming to a comfortable lead, coming out of 2. He's got about 8 car lengths, put it half a second over Dwayne Vincent as Chad Cole works the number 2 spot.
Time is running out. Vincent's got it. Cole wants it in the wall. Chevrolet puts the bumper to the 13 of Vincent. Vincent not backing down. He's in second. You know, we got 1 car on the bottom of the 10 cars.
And welcome back to the hills, the Irish Hills of Michigan, for this 2.5 mile track. We're going to be making our picks right now as we're waiting for us all to load up into the server. So far, what I'm going to pick for today's race is going to be the number 3 car of Jason Karlovich here. He's always been fast in the B car, and we're going to see if he can make it work today.
I like your pick. I know you were thinking about picking lose all night, but you decided to mess it up, switch it up a little bit. I'm going to go with the number 4 car, like you mentioned earlier, his teammate Dustin Montgomery. Dustin's been really fast all week, and I think he's going to be able to continue it tonight, so look for him tonight.
As we're just seeing the cars kind of running around here practicing, it's going to be a really fast track tonight. You're going to have to work around with that draft, and you're going to have a bunch of pro and DWC drivers here and all the time, so it's going to be really tight quarter racing.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing this thing get going. Looking at the warm-up times right now. Thomas Davis on top of the charts with a 39.335, which is a really fast time for what I've seen. Caden right behind him with a 39.336. Sam Edwards, a name we don't normally see, at a 3.50. Fernando Bento at 37. And Ryan Luz at a 39. So a lot of guys within the same 10th bracket. We see go down here in the 4s. We got a bunch of guys in the 4s, some guys in the 5s, a couple 6s and 7s. So should be a really good race. We got a lot of fast cars here tonight.
Like you're saying about the times right now, if you look at the top 10, they're almost within a 10th of each other, so that's going to be really close racing, and it's going to be quite crazy here out on the track.
Yeah, Danny Hansen is number 4 on the board so far. We're going to do our starting lineup a little early tonight, as we're going to have a little special thing going on. We're going to have an indoors reporter, Tom Moustakis today. He's going to be joining us in a little bit. But right now we're going to start off the starting lineup a little early tonight. So start first tonight will be Ryan Luza. Outside of him, Greg McKinney.
In the 3rd place is going to be David Cater, and to his outside is going to be Fernando Bento.
Starting 5th, Clayton Solowski. Hopefully I said that right this week. Thomas Davis on the outside of him in 6th.
Starting the inside in position number 7 is going to be Anthony Kernich, and in 8th is going to be Brendan Jarrell.
Starting in 9th, Jake Poland. Outside of him, Dylan DeVol.
On the inside, in spot number 11, Sam Edwards, and to his outside, E.J. O'Rourke.
Matt Whitten, 13th. The last driver to take time, our inner supporter today, Tom Moustakis.
Starting on the number 15th in the J Show Motorsports car is going to be Ryan Schoenberg, and to his outside for Wheelman Inc. is going to be Jason Karlovich.
My pick to win, Dustin Montgomery rolls up 17th. Outside of him, Casey Malone.
In 19th, another Wheelman Inc. driver is going to be Richard Doucette, and starting 20th is going to be PJ Sturgis.
21st, Danny Hansen. Outside of him, Malik Gray.
23rd is going to be Landon Huffman, and 24th, Armando Vargas.
25th, 18 Lee Heron. Starting 26th, Liam Lambert in the 21.
And 27th is going to be Kyle McCormick, and in 28th is going to be Nicholas Gornick.
Starting out our field tonight, Max Paquette, and now we're going to talk to our spotter, Tom Moustakis. Tom, how do you feel about your car tonight?
Car's okay. Did absolutely horribly in qualifying, but car's all right. I don't expect to contend for a win, but I think a top 10 would be a good finishing spot.
What's going to be your pit strategy for today? Now we have the 1-stop strategy and 2-stop strategy. What are you aiming to do tonight?
Just probably early save a little bit, and you know, I think almost everyone in this field is way faster than me, so I'll just kind of ride behind them and see what happens.
All right. What do you think a lot of other drivers are going to do tonight? I know the 1-stop strategy, 2-stop strategy. What are you expecting the tone of the race to be?
I honestly don't know. I haven't watched too many races this week. This is the first race I've done, but I've heard it's kind of crazy if people are saving the whole race, and got other guys that are going all out. So I don't know what to expect. It'll be interesting.
All right, Tom, we're on the backstretch now, so we're going to let you go back to getting ready to race here. Good luck tonight.
10-4, thanks.
Alright, 29 cars on the grid tonight. We talked to Tom, he starts 14th, so should be an exciting race. A lot of pros in here. You know, we talked about having Schoenberg, Karlovich, Montgomery, Doucette, Malone, so a lot of these fast guys. We're going to see how a lot of them did not qualify, actually. All those guys did not qualify, so it's going to be fun watching them come through the field for sure.
As they're heading off into turn 3 right now, lights are out on the pace car, and we're going to have the number 2 car, Ryan Luza, who's going to lead him to the green flag here, and to its outside is going to be Greg McKinney. It's going to be an interesting battle. It's going to be a tight battle. It's going to be 90 laps here at the 2.0 mile track here at the Irish Hills of Michigan, and it's going to be a really long and hard-fought race.
Yep, pace car getting ready to pull off now. Should be exciting to watch. Just look at the different fuel strategies. Pace car is off. Ryan Luza's getting ready to go. He's going to wait on it a little bit, and there he goes. He's off. David Cater on the inside of McKinney. He's going to take over the second spot as we head down towards turn 1. Long front straightaway here.
As they're battling side by side behind Ryan Luza here. Luza got a really good jump and is going to be out to the front, but he's got to be careful because of how this draft works, as they're going to be coming up on his back bumper in a hurry coming out of 2 as they go through the middle of 1 and 2 right now.
Cater's going to be able to clear the 20 car. Cater's going to have the draft, like you mentioned there. He's going to have a run on Luza, so you see how fast he'll hit the camera shot. It's good here. We can see how fast he closes in on Luza, so he closes in about a 10th or 2 down the backstretch just alone right there. He's probably going to close on him more. It's going to be interesting to see if any of these front runners are going to lose the really fast car. It's going to be interesting to see if he actually decides to go on a one-stop strategy and save some fuel early on.
As they're coming on to the front stretch right now, you're going to see David Cater trying to pull up onto the back of Ryan Luza right now. Cater had a really good run back in Charlotte last week. He was running top 5 all race, and he just kind of had a little unfortunate way with how the cautions flew last week.
Yeah, Cater, he had a really good run. He had a really good run in Kentucky. He's been really quick these last couple weeks. He's been quick all season, actually. Right now he's going to try to run down to Justin Brooks' Designs number 2. As we look at the guys behind him, all single file so far. Going to look towards the back, see if we see any interesting racing, but a lot of single file so far.
The closest battle that we got going on right now is the 10 of Matt Whitten and the 9 of Dylan Duvall and the 13 of Brandon Jarrell, all on top of each other as Jarrell goes underneath the 25 and gets a little loose right there coming out of 4.
Yeah, you see the loss of momentum there is going to cost them both those spots on Whitten and the 9 of Duvall, and here comes Schoenberg. He's going to look under him too, so 3 spots right there just from getting loose. So if you ever got to try to keep your momentum tonight, it's going to be tough. As we see Schoenberg dive under the 13, the 9 also going underneath the 25 in front of him with Sam Edwards.
Now you're talking about the momentum here around Michigan, Steven, and it's true. With these B cars, is they're not wound up like the A cars. You don't have to get out of the gas as much in the B cars. You're going to have to try to keep your foot in it as much as possible. And if you do get loose coming off that corner, you can lose 3, 4, 5, 6 spots sometimes, and it's a heart-wrenching feeling when you start going backwards like that, as we see the 25 starting to get freight trained right now.
Yeah, David Cater hits the wall of turn 4. That's going to allow the 20 of Fernando Bento. 26, sorry. 26 of Bento to start closing on Cater. He closed in about 3 car lengths right down the front stretch there. Bento, we're going to see if we can get a word with him later in the race. I know we're going to try to get a word with most of the drivers tonight, or some of them at least. I know definitely some great interaction there to be coming up. But the 16th, we get the 26 loose, so we have a caution. First caution of the night. We're going to go back and look and see what happened. Going to take a look here. Looks like the 23 of Nicholas Gertson got a little sideways off turn 4. Tried to keep it out of the grass and just looped it around. So no harm done, no damage to any cars. Everyone missed them, so should be no big deal here. We're going to get ready to go racing about 2 or 3 laps now.
Oh, it was a good save by Nicholas here. He kept it off the wall. You got to be careful with the seams sometimes here at Michigan. If you get down to that lower groove right around the bottom of the track and you start coming off the track, or sliding up the track, you're going to get pretty loose coming off, so you're going to have to be careful with how that's going.
Yeah. Now one thing we're going to focus on right now is these cars go through about towards turn 3 and 4 and down towards pit road. I'm going to try to see if any of them do come down to pit here.
Well, we did get 5 laps on that run, so I'd be surprised to see if anybody comes in. But if you do come in, I think you try to put 2 tires on, and maybe... Well, actually, maybe they'll all come down and try to get themselves fitted into that one-stop strategy like we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, the caution flag does change the strategy to talk about, and here's your caution flag to change that. I expect a lot of these guys, probably the majority of the field, to come down. Not sure about tires, but they'll definitely all come down and fill up that tank with gas.
Well, if maybe the top 5 doesn't come down, but I kind of find that hard to believe. If I was racing right now, 5 laps in, and I know that I can make it on one stop after that, I'd be definitely coming in. As you're going to see Luza lead David Cater and Fernando Bento down pit road is, yeah, it looks like they're all coming in.
As far as I can see to the back, all 29 cars going to come down pit road here.
Pit road's going to be tight right now with all 29 cars on the field, as we're going to be looking at Luza as he comes down for his pit stop. And we're going to see if Luza's pit crew is going to be on his A game today, or if Cater's going to be able to beat him off. As Cater's going to get into his stall first before Luza.
And we're see if these guys take 2 or 4 or no tires right now. It looks like right side's up on the front runners. See if they take 2 or 4 here. Looks like they're going to take 4 tires. So Fernando Bento's going to take 2. He's going to be the first car off pit road. And going to see who comes out behind him. Brian Schoenberg, Jason Karlovich. So all those guys take 2. Lose the first car 4th.
Oh, and also another car that took 2 tires back. We're going to also go back further. It's also Danny Hansen took 2 tires on that stop. So as we were talking about with the 2-tire, 4-tire strategy, is we're going to have Fernando Bento lead him to the green flag next time, followed by Brian Schoenberg and Jason Karlovich.
Yeah, pace light's still on, so we're going to have at least 1 more lap of caution right here. Looking forward to seeing what how these 2-stoppers and 4-stoppers do right now. Or 2-tire stoppers and 4-tire stoppers, I should say. A couple guys took 2, and see the J-Show guys. Karlovich on Wheelman, Fernando, who's really on his own. I believe he's on AB Racing, so interesting tire call there. Gonna see how it plays out. I'm pretty sure they'll be alright after about 4 laps, though.
Alright, so we're gonna see 2 tires can get you pretty loose right now, but like I said, it's gonna make that 1-stop strategy a reality. As you're gonna see, Luza's still trying to save a little bit of fuel, just making sure that he's all good. We're gonna see Luza's been really fast these last 3 weeks, man. He's been driving a loose setup and able to still keep up with everybody, so we're gonna see how that's gonna play out.
That's for sure. Now we have Fernando Bento in the booth. Fernando, welcome to the booth.
Hey guys, good evening.
Yep. Nice. You're in the lead now. You looked at 2 tires. Why was that?
We just did 4 or 5 laps, something like that. The tires were good. Decided to give it a go.
All right. You look fast so far tonight. How's the car handling for you?
Absolutely perfect, man. I'm just enjoying this. It's a really excellent feeling to be here.
All right, who'd you like to thank for the help on the setup this week?
Whole team. It's a team effort, really. Everybody, from the new guys that are on, like Shannon Siegler, Mike, Joe, everybody had a hand, you know, sticking into it. So it's a team effort. It's been really cool having those guys aboard. So.
All right, Fernando. Thanks for your time so far. Hopefully, we'll see you back here at the end of the race in one of the top 3 spots. Good luck to you.
That would be like a dream, man. Thanks.
As the lights are out on the pace car right now, and as you did hear from Fernando Bento, he's having a great night tonight. He's going to lead him down to the start-finish line to take the green flag, followed by Brian Schoenberg in 2nd, Jason Karlovich in 3rd, Ryan Luza 4th, and David Cater in 5th.
Yeah, I'm going to be interested to see if Fernando can hold on. I know I did a race with him earlier this week. I was doing a little bit of testing for my team, and he was fast. He was able to outrun me, so expect good things out of him tonight. Schoenberg up in 2nd. Looking a lot better than we saw him last week so far. Hopefully those J-Show guys got the setup figured out this week. Karlovich, you know, we've seen him in the past. He's doing really well as well.
Yeah, the J-Show guys had a really off week last week, which is kind of weird. As we were talking last week, it's kind of, sometimes you just have to take everything for granted, and you know, sometimes you're off and sometimes you're on it, as we're going to see the pace car roll off. And Fernando Bento's going to lead him down as the green flag comes back into the air, as Bento gets a great start.
Yeah, good job for Bento for sure. Schoenberg's going to be able to get back in line 2nd, Karlovich 3rd, so Luza's going to hold on to that 4th spot right now. Danny Hansen, that's all over his bumper now as we head down towards turn 1.
As Luza's going to try to get down below, needs Jason Karlovich. Got to remember too, Luza is on 4 tires, but Danny Hansen is also a type of driver that you don't want to be pissing off. If you throw a block on Danny Hansen, he's going to get you back. We saw that in the pro race with him and Josh Connors getting tangled with each other.
Yeah, it was definitely an interesting pro race last Tuesday. Here comes Luza to the bottom of Karlovich. He's going to take over that 3rd spot. Good move there by Luza, and now he's going to try to chase down Schoenberg for 2nd.
A little bit further back, we got David Cater and Matt Whitten battling side by side as they file back into single file.
Yeah, a lot of racing going on behind them as well. We see the 13 of Gerald trying to make up some spots he lost there on the slide. Trying to get underneath the 16, but he's going to get underneath the 20 and pass him. That's back around the 12 spot right now as Luza's going to look underneath Schoenberg for 2nd.
So Luza is battling side by side with Schoenberg, and also Matt Whitten is looking underneath David Cater as they go off into 3 and 4. They're going to see if Matt Whitten is going to make his M&M's car stick on the bottom right now.
Whitten's going to make it work. Hansen passed Karlovich there. He makes it work. Schoenberg putting up a fight with Loser right now, but Loser's going to clear him off turn 4. Now Loser's going to go after Bent now, see if he can take the lead. Cater trying to get underneath the 10 car. The 10 puts him all the way to the apron behind them. Cater gets under him now. Cater's going to try to make a move as we head down towards turn 1.
You got to be careful right now. Yeah, it's a long race, but you got to be putting yourself into bad positions. That's going to get you wrecked right now. As you're going to see Matt Whitten fall in behind David Cater as Danny Hansen and Brian Schoenberg go side by side right now.
Yeah, a lot of good racing right now. A lot of guys going side by side. They don't have to worry about the field as much anymore. Some guys still might have to save a little bit, but not as much as we thought. So Carlin's going to come down in front of the 14, their teammates, so Cater probably let him in there. So Cater's trying to pass the 10 to Matt Whitten. Whitten holding him strong on the outside though right now.
As you can see up front, Luza is actually backing off his corners a lot further than Bento, but Luza is also getting a run as we see Danny Hansen go onto the inside of Ryan Luza here. But like I was saying, as Luza backs off the corner and also gets on the throttle a little bit early, and also is all the way back up on the back bumper of Bento as Danny Hansen gets a little loose right now as Luza's going to look to the inside of him.
Yeah, Hansen almost got to the inside of Bento right there. It was a good run in the turn 1 too. Couldn't make it stick though. We saw him get a little sideways. Luza's going to try to put the crossover down him now. Put the crossover on him down in the turn 3.
As we're going to see the Wheelman Inc. train go beside by Schoenberg right now, as we got Jason Karlovich, David Cater, and Dustin Montgomery racing with each other.
Yeah, Dustin started back in the 17th spot. He took 4 tires. He's already up to the 7th. He's going to be really fast tonight. As we see Luza and Hansen still time side by side. Karlovich and Cater and Montgomery, the J-Show train, trying to follow suit as well.
I'll tell you what, one driver who's liking all this side-by-side action right now is Fernando Bento. He's on 2 tires. He's been looking really strong up front. There's also that clean air really helps your car stick to the racetrack.
Yeah, it definitely does. Even with 2 tires, he's able to hold on to the lead right now just because he's out front. The draft's a big factor right there, but Luza's hasn't been able to really get his bumper yet. He's been passed every time he's tried. You see Cater a little sideways in the back. Schoenberg's going to get under him right now. Nice save by Cater.
As you're going to see, he's going to go 3 wide contact. Oh man, that was, and they're wrecking on the front straight away. Schoenberg is on his lid. Big jump.
A lot of cars piling in here. Big wrecks. Oh, still piling in here. The 24 gets into it. Big wreck. I don't know if I can see what happened here, but a lot of cars involved. Wow. A lot of front runners as well.
But it looked like there's 3 cars going for the same real estate, and unfortunately it doesn't work right now, and it caused huge mayhem. Brian Schoenberg almost got through that, but Cater came back down the track after he was sideways, collected Schoenberg, and put him on his side. And I think we're going to need a couple ambulances for that one.
Yeah, I'm looking at the replay right now. It looks like the 6, well, can't really blame him 16 for that. He stuck it up the middle on the 1 and 14. Cater tried to come back down, kind of like he's going to side draft Schoenberg. The 16 was just in the middle, and that hooked Cater into Schoenberg, and looks like after they touched, Cater got really sideways in the tri-oval and just lost it.
Oh, we're going to have to look back through your notes here and see how many cars got collected in that one, because that was big. That was big, as we're looking at the 10 car right now. Matt Whitten, he's smoking, so his day is pretty much done.
The bright side is, though, looks like Schoenberg, he took a big lick, went on the lid, but he's able to drive it away, so he's not going to need an ambulance for that one.
That's impressive, because that looked pretty ugly, as I think Matt Whitten is stopping on track back there, and I think he's done. David Cater's got a lot of damage to that left side of that machine. Unfortunately, he's not going to have a good week like he did last week at Charlotte. And also we're going to look at Clayton, the number 24, who just blew up his engine, so his day's done. Yeah,
a lot of wreck cars here, a lot of cars with damage. I see more than 10 cars get involved in that. Not much you can do when the wreck's in the middle of the front stretch. You're going about 185, 190 miles an hour through that section of the track, and there's not much you can do. We're going to see if these guys come down pit road here, lap 14. Went about 10 laps, or not less than 10 laps, about 8 laps there, so we're going to see if anyone decides to come back down pit road. Looks like Bento's going to lead them down, see who follows suit.
As Bento leads them down, as they come down here pit road, everybody's going to come back onto the pit road, as they're going to see Luza try to get beside Bento. You know, that kind of drives me a little crazy when drivers start to do that to me. I'm a little bit dirty when it comes to that. I try to put Luza into the outside wall, but that's not how Bento races.
Yeah, a lot of people won't do that at pit road. A lot of people do try to make that side-by-side move sometimes, just gain some track positions. That's going to help Luza here. It looks like one car misses pit stall, or was a lap car trying to come out there. It looks like 28 of Max Paquette. He's heavily damaged, 5 laps down. So, we're going to see who else out there. He's only one. Luza's going to take 4 tires. He's going to beat Bento out, so that little move he did there pays off. Luza's going to retake the lead. So Ryan Luza, now the fastest car on track. So, looking as they come out of pit road, we're going to have Luza, Bento, Karlovich, Montgomery, Gerald. Gerald runs out top 5. Then we're going to look at Hansen, Duval, O'Rourke, so EJ making his move up to the top 10. Moustakis as well. So we're going to talk to Tom if we can. Tom made a nice wreck avoidance there. Let's see if we can get him in here.
Alright. As we're going to go down and see if Tom's got a copy right now. Tom, you there?
Yes, sir.
So that was a pretty crazy crash. Take us through that one.
I saw some dirt flying up, and I saw some smoke, and heard EJ screaming out wreck, 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 and I almost mounted him. Got to the outside of him and just stabbed on the brake and hoped I didn't hit anybody, and I didn't. So yeah, it took out I guess a lot of good cars up front there.
Yeah, it looks like it's been pretty hairy racing going on right now. We're only 15 laps in. Tell us how your car's feeling right now.
Car feels good. I mean, like I said before, I don't know if I have anything to, challenge these guys with, but I'm just sitting here riding, and if another one of those happens, I'll be in pretty good shape. But as long as I avoid everything, but yeah, car feels fine. It's just I don't know. I'm not the best B car driver.
Yeah, just to see how many good cars got involved in that. Tom was 17th before that wreck. He's running P9 right now, so up 8 spots just from one incident right now. So big crash. They got a lot of cars. Tom, it takes out a lot of cars you're competing against. You look to be up front now. Good luck to you the remainder of the race.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Alright, we'll try to talk to him again if we get a moment or anything big happens. So we'll be talking to a bunch of people throughout the race. So I'm not sure if we have anyone else to talk to at the moment, but we're trying. It's good to have the drivers get in here. So I know a lot of them watch the broadcast after the race. If those guys could come to the ETB TeamSpeak, during the race, we can talk to them. So it's always fun to hear from the drivers during the race and their opinions about the car and the race and everything.
And actually, I just realized something looking at the field right now. Tyler D. Hudson did not sign up for this race, so that's going to be huge points implications right now.
So while we have a moment, we'll talk about the point standings. We saw that Hudson had I believe he had a 3-point lead. He has correct me on that, or Gerald had a 3-point lead. One of those guys had a 3-point lead. They're all within 8 points, so it doesn't really matter. But Luza and Gerald now are the 2-point contenders as Hudson misses this race. Luza running strong, leading the race. Looks like he's a really fast car. And Gerald running 5th, so definitely going to be a good competition between these two. Both have really fast cars right now.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting, and hopefully this time by, the lights are going to go out on the pace car, and Ryan Lewis is going to lead him down with Fernando Bento starting in 2nd. Jason Karlovich is going to be 3rd. Dustin Montgomery is going to be 4th. And in the 13 car is going to be Brandon Jarrow. And we're going to see what this is going to be like.
Our picks are both running well so far. I don't want to jinx anything. Your pick's in 3rd, or my pick's in 4th, whatever the numbers are right now. So looks like we could have a better battle than last week this week for sure.
Yeah, they're running side by side. They're all on top of each other. It's making really great racing. This is definitely a wide track. You can easily sit 4 or 5 cars within each other and not wreck it, but sometimes, like in what we saw in that last caution, 3 cars go for the same space, and it turns really ugly in a hurry.
Yeah, definitely so. Have to agree with you on that. Hopefully we can try to avoid some more wrecks. I know the fans like to see them, but we like to race go by quick. So hopefully these guys don't wreck anymore. I know we still have over 22 cars without damage, or with damage, but still on the lead lap. So a lot of damaged cars, a lot of guys out of the race. So it'll be interesting to see if these guys with damage can still contend. I know a lot of them were destroyed, but some have minor damage as well.
And we're also going to thank right now, we're going to thank ETV for putting this on right now, and also Gary Mercer Trucking for coming on board to sponsor this Friday night showdown for the B car.
Just remember, if any of the guys racing, they tear up their cars, I'm sure Brennan and the guys at Gary Mercer Trucking would be happy to tow them away.
Oh yeah, for sure. Also, Casey Malone is also being sponsored by Gary Mercer Trucking, so he'll definitely get a free ride back if anything were to happen to him.
Yes, it will. Alright, well, pace car's gonna head through turn 4 right now. These guys are double filed. That means we're going green next time by, or this time by actually, as we get to the exit 4. Luz is gonna lead us off again now. Luz and Bento have had 2 really fast cars so far. Now they're both even on 4 tires. Gonna see what they can both do. Pace car's gonna pull off. Luz is gonna go right on the pace car. Good jump by Luz. He's gonna pull about 4 or 5 car lanes right on Bento right there.
As you're gonna see, Bento and Karlovich go side by side here. As Karlovich is gonna bring his wheel manning teammate of Dustin Montgomery through 1 and 2. As Luza got a really good start there. Sometimes people aren't expecting you to go right on pace car, but when you do, you can get a pretty big lead, as we see Luza get a huge lead here, up to about a 5-car length lead as they go down the back straightaway.
Yep, Gerald's going to try to follow Montgomery underneath the 26. So Fernando, we talked about a little earlier, he's getting freight train right now. Looks like Danny Hansen's going to stick underneath the 13 though, so he's going to take that spot. He's going to try to go underneath the 26 as well.
Well, we talked about Danny Hansen. He's a pretty aggressive driver. When he gets blocked, he doesn't like it. But also the guy right behind Danny Hansen in the 9 is going to be Dylan Duval, who also is a very aggressive driver. So it's going to be interesting to see these two race each other.
Yeah, well, I said we've seen Duval win races in this series before, been really competitive, and not a surprise seeing him up front once again tonight.
As we're going to see the 13 car almost take out EJ as EJ gets loose on the outside in the 19 car.
A good run so far by EJ. We don't usually see him up in the top 10 this early, but he's showing his face, trying to get some TV time without actually staying out from pit road this time.
That's always good for EJ there, as we're going to see. We're going to look at EJ right now. In front of him is going to be Liam Lambert and the number 21 lime green car for me.
Yep, and behind him, Landon Hoffman. He doesn't usually run this series, so it's the first time I've seen him this season. Tom, who we talked to twice this evening. Armando Vargas back there, so a lot of these guys having good top 15 runs right now that we don't usually see, so it's good to see them running up front.
As they're going to go on to the back straightaway here, Dylan Duval is going to make the pass by Fernando Bento, and now it's going to be Ryan Luza followed by Jason Karlovich, Justin Montgomery, Danny Hansen, and Dylan Duval as Fernando Bento gets into the back end of Duval going into 3.
Yeah, Dylan threw the block on the backstretch. Fernando tried to cross over. Dylan didn't like it there, so he's blocked. Going to be held on the spot. Fernando gave him a tap, so he wasn't happy, and I guess these guys are going to move on now. Let's see if it'd be interesting to see if anything transpires from that.
Yeah, you got to be careful right now as we go on into 1 and 2 right now. It's all single file up front here as Bento is all over the back end of Duval. Duval got a little loose going into the corner, so Bento ran up on him pretty fast and had to get on the binders there, and it kind of lost him a little bit of momentum. As Brendan Gerald's going to go try to look underneath Liam Lambert right now as they go off into 3 and 4.
Yeah, Lambert actually cleared him on the outside. He had to check up for Bento, and Bento came down to the second lane, so Lambert was able to keep the momentum up and pass him on the high side. We got a battle for second. It looks like Montgomery underneath Karlovich.
As they come through the front straightaway here, as Justin Montgomery is going to make that pass relatively easy, because we got to remember those two are teammates, so they're not going to race each other too hard right now. But if you get down to the closing laps, so trust me, they're going to not see that much space. They're going to be door to door as they go off into the corners.
Yeah, Karlovich definitely went up high to the wall, let Montgomery go. He knows he's faster right now. He wants to keep Luza in check, so that's definitely the point of that, doing that right there, just so Luza does not get away. They don't want to waste time battling.
So the top 10 are all single file right now, and further back in the pack you see the 17 of Armando Vargas go by Thomas Sakis, our in-race reporter right now. And Sakis' car is not looking like it's handling too well as he's going to get passed by the 22 right now.
Yeah, the 22's going to head down there. Tom said the car feels alright. He said he doesn't have the speed, all the speed in the world, but still hanging on strong to a top 15 spot right now, so that's pretty much all he was expecting. He's got it right now.
He is having a solid run. I haven't really seen him run the B car a lot.
Yeah, he's not really run the B car. I've seen him in the truck a lot. Did really well in the C6 standings. I know me and him race a lot. Got Bento looking underneath the 9 and Duval now for that 5th position again. Bento's going to drive it in deep. Duval's going to come down. It's going to be clear. So Bento really having a hard time trying to get around Duval right now.
Right now, Bento's going to try to get Duval loose as he does, and Bento's going to get underneath Duval here as they come down the front straightaway here. And Duval is going to try to get in front of Bento, but that's not going to work here. As up front, you got Justin Montgomery all over the back of Luza.
We're going to look at this battle for now for position number 5. Duval gives a little bit more room this time to 1 and 2. He's going to make the spot. Lambert's going to follow as well, so see if Duval can carry any speed off the turn. He gets sideways, he won't be able to do that. Lambert's going to clear him as well, so bump Duval back from 7th right there. Here comes the 13 to Bowie as well. He's going to try to block Bowie, Gerald. Sorry, wrong name. Brandon Gerald underneath the 9 now, as they get extremely close to 3 and 4, and now Gerald's going to try to take over the spot.
As you're going to see is, that's what it's going to look like later on in the race, is how Duval raced Gerald there. He's basically right on top of him, giving him no room. As we look up front here, Montgomery is going to look to try to make a move on Ryan Luza coming off this corner. Justin Montgomery has been making some really good moves here and charging up the pack. His car looks like it's rotating through the corner a lot better than Luza, but we don't know. Luza somehow finds some stuff later on in the run for a longer run setup, but we're going to see if he can do that today.
Yeah, I'm interested to see if Luza may pick up some speed later in the run. We've seen him do that, as you mentioned. We've seen him pick up a lot of speed late in the run and be one of the faster cars in the long run. So Dustin looks really good right now. Looks to be a little faster. It might be a little bit of the draft. You never know. They're running really equal times right now. Carlovich a little faster than both those guys, actually.
As you see, Montgomery kind of floats up to the wall a little later than Luza. Luza is basically protecting himself so Montgomery doesn't get a run underneath him. But later on in the run, Montgomery's going to try to stay right behind Luza. And the top 7 cars right now are all within a tight pack with each other running single file.
Yeah, all these guys are really close. Sometimes we see them. Looks like the leader, Luza and Montgomery, are in the same exact time last time. Montgomery 2,000s off. Carlovich in 84, Hansen in 80, Fernando at 76, Lambert in 81, Gerald in 81, and Duval at 84. So the top 8 all within the same 10th bracket right now, as we got a battle for the lead.
And Dustin Montgomery got a good run off 4 and got underneath Ryan Luza, and he's going to make his pass right now. He's going to get off the corner ahead of Luza. So we're going to have a new lead, but you're going to see Luza do the crossover and see if he can get underneath Montgomery as they go down the back straightaway, and Luza's going to fall into the back, and he's also going to try and hold off the number 3 car of Jason Karlovich as Danny Hansen goes underneath Karlovich.
Yep, Hansen going to make a move on number 3. He's going to move into 3rd. He's going to get all over the back bumper of Luza, try to get him a little bit loose. Luza not really moving around much right now, so you see his car is really stable, someone on his back bumper. Let's see if Montgomery can pull away now. We saw Montgomery get to his back bumper, caught him about 3/10 back, past him, so I'm interested to see if Luza's maybe going to pick up some speed now, as we mentioned earlier, and pass it back.
As you go further off in the back of the pack, Brendan Gerald, Fernando Bento, Dylan Duval, and Liam Lambert basically almost went 4 wide as they went off into 1 and 2. You can get away with that here at Michigan because this track is pretty wide. As you're going to see Jason Karlovich all the way down to the white line here. Don't know why if he got loose off the corner as Duval gets underneath Bento going off into 3 and 4.
Yeah, I think Karlovich might be having 50% tape on the grid right now. There's 2 options you can run at Michigan, 40 or 50. 50 will get a little hot in the pack right now, as we're seeing right now. Karlovich peeking out for air right now. Looks like a lot of these guys might be running 50, as they're all trying to get air right now. You see all of them spread out across the front structure or front 4. But we're going to look at this battle behind. Lambert all over the back bumper, Duval right now. Gerald cleared them, so he's going to try to catch that front pack. That was 5th. Duval in 6th now, holding up Lambert. He's going to come down on the exit of 2. Lambert all over his back bumper right now.
I was watching that battle back before, and Duval's been blocking Liam a little bit. Duval's got to be careful with that because Liam is not going to be so patient here, as we're going to see if Liam can make a run here. And Huffman in the 15 behind Fernando Bento is having a strong run.
Yeah, we saw Huffman. He was about a second behind these guys. He's reeled them in due to the fact that they're battling so hard. Fernando might have 50% tape on right now, so he's trying to get some air outside of these guys right now. But Lambert's had a couple nice runs on Duval. He hasn't been able to make the move yet. We saw Hansen drop back there, loses the spot to the 13 of Gerald.
I'll tell you what, Huffman is probably one of the biggest movers right now. He started all the way back in the 23rd position. He's all the way up to 9th. So he's having a good run right now. But they're all on top of each other right now as Fernando Bento's looking onto the inside of Liam Lambert.
It looks like Bento to me was just trying to peek out and get some air to that engine. He wasn't trying to make the move there. But a lot of side-by-side battling up here on the front spots right now. Changing hands, this position's changing hands a lot, so good to see this great racing up front right now.
As the top 2 cars are separated each other from the pack, Ryan Luza in 2nd and Dustin Montgomery up in 1st. Looking like they're having a really strong day, but we're going to have to look back at Danny Hansen. Last week at Charlotte, the J-Show guys had an awful car. They had not even a top 20 car, and now you look at Danny Hansen, he's running all the way up in the top 5th, top 5. And he's got a pretty fast race car right now.
Yeah, J-Show definitely put a lot more work into their setup this week. A lot faster than it was. Hansen's fast. We see the Nexus drivers, Luza and Gerald up front. The wheelman guys of Montgomery and Karlovich up front. Is Montgomery's car just disappeared.
That'd be awful for Montgomery if he all of a sudden loses connection here. His quality is about 71 right now, and it's dropping. I think we lost Montgomery. That's unfortunate because Montgomery did have a really fast car, and Steven, I think that was your pick for tonight.
Yeah, I won Kentucky with the picks. Last week you won the race, and my pick's gone this week, so really unfortunate to have this happen. Didn't even get wrecked, worked his way from the back, all the way from 17th to the lead, so more bad luck for me.
Now what this is going to do is, unfortunately, Luz is going to be running all by himself, and behind him, Karlovich and Gerald are running with each other, so they're going to be closing up on Luza in a hurry right now because they got the draft, and right now Karlovich is sniffing Luza's draft. Unfortunately, with Montgomery done, Luza's kind of a sit and duck right now, just waiting for these two to come up on him.
Yeah, but you have to remember that the 13 of Gerald and Luza are teammates, to see if Gerald will try to battle the 3 to help his teammate get away. These guys are battling for the championship, though, the 13 and the 2 of Luza, so it's going to be interesting to see if they can maybe have a championship battle, even battle for the win tonight. So we got the 17 of Argus, the 15 of Huffman battling. This is for the number 8 position right now. We got Hansen behind both of them right now. He's going to take it 3 wide to 15, shots to 17. Hansen in the grass. Hansen's going to hold on to it and out in the dirt right there. That was almost bad, and Hansen's going to lose 2 spots. Looks like Kyle might be having some technical difficulties right now, so we're going to wait for him to come back. But let's see, I'll take over from now. Huffman on the outside right now of Vargas. Hartney got the 11 car sideways down. That's Tom Stockton. Keep it off the inside wall. Great save by Tom. He's going to lose a lot of time, though, on track. Look farther up right now, McCartney battling side by side. Or McCormick, my bad. McCormick or Vargas, 15 to Huffman, the 8 to Hansen, all battling really hard right now. So Hansen on the inside of the 15. He's going to look for that spot. That's right inside the top 10 right now. Actually, right inside the top 10, number 9 position. Hansen's going to make the move right there. And he's going to stay on the inside to turns 1. Going to complete the pass now. Going to look up front as well. Looks to me like Liam Lambert's moved up into the top 5. Karlovich is back to 6th. Or 5th, actually. Lost 2 spots that turn. Needs to look back into the 21 now of Liam Lambert. Going to take over that position. That's for the 4th position. Duval in the 3rd. Gerald trying to track down his teammate Luza right now. Looking at the lap times. Gerald running a 40.074. Last lap, Luza an 0.64, so these guys are very close. Duval had an 0.06 last time. Reeled in both these guys. Karlovich in 4th. Lambert 5th. Bento 6th, so he's trying to bounce back. Vargas is 7th, but we're going to have a good green flag right going. We're going to take commercial and come back for pit stops.
Inside SimRacing.tv, the fastest show on the internet. Sim racing news and reviews since 2007, with new shows every week.
It's time for those most famous words in motorsports. Drivers, start your engines!
Michael Conti comes up at a corner number 4 in the checkered flag. He wins his first NASCAR iRacing.com Series Racing Gold.
Welcome back. Kyle's still experiencing some technical difficulties, some of my own for now. But Dylan Duvall is taking over to second position. Actually, yeah, Dylan Duvall is now in second position right now, behind Ryan Luza. Brandon Jarrell, he decided to come down back to fourth place. We saw him catch Luza during the break, but he's falling back a little bit now. So Duvall all over Luza right now, trying to take over the lead. We've seen Duvall make some aggressive moves so far, and he's going to try to take over the lead for the first time tonight. Behind him, Liam Lambert in third. He's had a good run. Brandon Jarrell, as I said, has a good run as well in fourth. Jason Karlovich hanging about in fifth right now. So lots of good runs by these guys right now. The front four all together within a second. Karlovich about 8/10 back as well. So front four running really close. Lambert's backed off a little bit from Duvall, giving him some room to try to make a move on Luza. Luza's really had a fast car though all night. It's going to be tough to pass. Duvall knows that, but Duvall's going to try all he can. We're getting close to pit window as we're up to lap 44 right now. Pit window about 42 laps, so these guys should come in about the next 5 to 10 laps. I'd say 10 max, 5 minimum. So between that time frame, we'll see some guys come down pit road and maybe see if lead will change hands there or not. We're going to recap quick. The race started off with many cautions, as we saw the big wreck on the front stretch between Cater, Schoenberg, Thomas Davis, and a couple other small cautions like Iracing spin around. So those two wrecks have really played a lot of cars out of this race. And now we have these guys up front right now. So Schoenberg with a fast car with Cater as well, Thomas Davis. So those guys are not running up front anymore. Witten, you said as well. So we're going to look at these guys up front. And it looks like Dakota Airman has joined me in the booth. Dakota?
Yeah, I saw you all alone up here. I figured I'd try to get up here and assist you a little bit here, Steven.
Alright, thanks Dakota. I don't know if you're in the server or not yet, but I'm waiting for you to load up. But looking at the action again, Duvall has a run on Luza. He's going to try to take over the lead. Duvall is a really fast car, so does Luza. Great to see these guys battling up front.
Yeah, and it's great to see Dylan Duvall in a fast car. Again, as he is in the Pro Series and barely, possibly has a small chance at the top 25 and making the OVC. So, I mean, it's really good to see him in a fast car, and that can mean a lot for him going into this last week at Charlotte Motor Speedway on Tuesday night.
Yeah, I definitely agree. The 20 of Greg McKinney, slow off the pace. He's getting lapped right now. So this front 6 now have all closed up to a single file line. We've seen this for the majority of the race. These 6 guys, 7 guys that we've seen, they've all been running single file, making some moves there now. Duvall's going to peek out to the inside right now. So, and he's going to fall back in line actually, so he's not going to make a move on Luza yet. But these guys all running single file, just trying to buy their time till after pit stops.
Yeah, without a doubt, and with those closing up, it's going to be interesting to see who, if anybody at all, who at least messes up getting on the pit road, because pit road is very crucial in any race, and I think you very well know that that can make the difference here.
Yep, Duvall going to go for the lead. Schoenberg, the lap car up high, that's going to get in Luza's way. Luza's going to have to back off and let Duvall in. It's Dylan Duvall, our new leader. Schoenberg gets lapped.
It looks like, I believe that's Luza coming back on the inside there. I'm not quite sure. Not quite able to get there, though.
Going to stay in line in second. Lambert in the 13 to Gerald also going underneath Schoenberg. Schoenberg, lots of damage from that previous wreck early on where we saw him, Cater, and Thomas Davis get into it. Carlos going to go under him as well. Alejandro Vargas will follow.
What I've noticed with these cars is the draft model is so big here, the draft itself, that it keeps these cars rather close here. It's hard to get a big gap, at least, as you now see Ryan Luza closing in on Dylan Duvall. for the lead again. I don't know that Luza can get back up there within 2 or 3 laps, but I mean, when he gets up there, he's just going to have to dive bomb the corner basically to try to get around Duval.
Yeah, Duval, we've seen him be really defensive so far when he's been in front of people. He's not afraid to throw a block, so I'm going to be surprised if he throws a block on Luza as well. But Luza gets the run down the straightaways. Behind Duval gets a little tight in the turns, not able to make it stick, so that's what Duval's advantage is right now. He has a faster car through the turns. His car's centering a lot better than Luza's, so as long as he can hold off Luza down the straightaway, he'll be alright for now.
I'll tell you what I was wondering, Luza being out in traffic now, he was out front, so he doesn't quite have the clean air he had before. Whether he'll heat up, because I did see on the backstretch about last time by, Jason Carvelich sitting in 5th position in the 3 car. He pulled out in the middle of the backstretch and went way down almost to the apron line. So I believe that was so he could cool down the engine. So you got to watch those guys on temps. Also, that could play into that here as he does it again.
Yeah, we've seen talked about it a little bit early on. I know you weren't here yet. But Carlos looks like one of those guys that's running the 50% tape on McGrail. You can run 50 or 40. And some of these guys lose 50. I know it's about half a tenth faster. So the only risk is you run the temps really hot, around 290 degrees, 280 degrees. And that's really close to danger zone. So they have to be careful not to blow up the engines.
And they've also got to be careful of not doing anything too much. Like I know that you want to use a lot of tape, or as much tape as you can. It's a big thing with some of these drivers, but right now in Luza's spot, if he was running tape because he was set up to be out front, he is definitely going to be overheating right now, and I'm surprised we don't see him pulling out just trying to get air like we do see that three car of Jason Carvelich every time he goes down the backstretch, just all the way down trying to get that air.
Yeah, Luza may have elected to go with 40 tape. You know that we're probably going to see some long green flag runs here tonight. This is the longest run I think we've seen since we came back broadcasting, you know, on ETV. It's proudly sponsored by Gary Mercer Trucking. But Luza has a run on Duval this time. He's going to try to get to his back bumper. We're going to push him down the straight right now, so that's pretty good sign he's running 40% tape.
Yeah, very good sign he's running 40% tape, and he's going to back up the corner and not try to run him over or try to go for the spot there. He does go a little high in the center. He's maybe a little bit tight because he couldn't back it up enough, but he's able to hold off the spot. But he is being closed in right now on by the 21 of Lion Lambert.
Yes, that is true. He is. Liam Lambert having a good run as well. We didn't usually see him in the series. We've seen him a couple of times having really good runs. Brandon Jarrell, one of our punch contenders, is leaders, going to go side by side. Ryan Lee's with the run on the inside. Duval's going to clear him off turn 4 though, so his run's gone as Duval's going to keep the lead, at least for now. He's getting closer and closer to pit stops.
Yeah, I saw that Duval going in a little higher and Luza throwing it down there. Luza couldn't quite get the stick in the center. Doesn't look like, or as well as Duval could on the outside. Duval is able to power off the corner and maintain the spot.
Yeah, Duval definitely seems to have a better car through the turns right now. That's why Luza can't seem to get the run. He gets the run going into the turn, but can't seem to carry the speed off the turn that Duval has right now.
And now looking back here, the battle for 8th position. Landon Huffman just now going around Fernando Bento for the 8th position in the 15 car.
We talked to Fernando a little earlier on. He said he has a really fast car, and he's really happy to be in this spot tonight. So, shout out to Fernando. He's having a good run as well. In that 9th position right now. Great run for him. Better we've seen him run most of the season. Huffman, the guy we don't usually see running 8, so great runs by both these guys so far. Looks like Danny Hansen's caught this front pack right now, so this is a 7-car breakaway now.
Yeah, and how about Huffman? He's also in the Pro Series and not doing too bad himself there. He's actually recently, I think he's made some pretty good runs, and he's making the best out of his season.
Yeah, he had a rough start, had some top 10s, so he's been having a really nice comeback. He's into the top 20 in points now.
And as I'm looking back up front, the lead looks like maybe Duval getting a little sideways off the corner, or just maybe sliding up. Not sure what that was, but you could definitely see the difference because Luza was able to get a little bit of time made up. Luza backing off the corner. He was bumping him all the way almost through turn 1. So Luza is there, and he knows how to get around him, I believe.
Yeah, it looks to me like these guys now, at least one we mentioned a couple of times now, they still have one more pit stop. I'm not sure if they'll go 2 tires or 4 tires. That's going to be up to the drivers. We're going to have to pay attention to that when they start coming down. Should be any time within the next couple laps now, I'd assume. They have hit around lap 15. We're about 40 laps in the run now.
I'm not sure what's going on with Liam Lambert. It looks like he's wanting to slow down for a pit stop or something. Yes, that's what's happening because he lost the spot to Brandon Jarrell, and then he was slowing up right in front of a lot of people. But we have our first pit stop of the night, and Liam Lambert coming down here.
Yeah, Liam got really slowed down there, not getting a speeding penalty. He was really conservative on the pit entry. We're going to see if he takes 2 or 4 tires. We're going to focus on him for a little while.
DJ O'Rourke also coming down, and I can't see who that last car was. It was Jake Poland, and I know both those cars had trouble getting on pit road there. It was interesting to see them wiggle trying to get slowed down and not wreck the car.
And Lambert misses his pit stall. That's going to be really costly to him. He's going to come back down again. Looks like he thought his pit stall was farther up than he did before, and he's going to make a second stop now. It's going to cost him probably a shot at the win.
That'll cost him a shot at the top 10, I believe. I mean, he just lost everything he had there, and it was a great run he had going also. But everybody else that was on pit road, they're having no problems whatsoever.
Looks like Kyle's figured out the mechanical problems he's had at home. Looks like he's rejoined us in the booth. Kyle? Oh, not back yet, actually. But looks like he is here. Looks like the 15's and missed his pit stall. We have a lot of guys down. The 12 and 22 bump each other going in. 12 finds his stall. The 3, the 2 loses in as well. 16 of Thomas Davis. Koenig's in as well.
It's money stop time. Landon Huffman down there also getting 4 tires and fuel, and it looks like a lot of these guys no problems on the pit stop, just going in away. We had a pretty big group coming down here, so they're coming in together, leaving together, and that makes for a little bit more interesting on what happens on the track after that.
Yeah, definitely. So we have a lot of guys still staying out so far that haven't pitted. We're going to see Luza come back onto the track. He's going to rejoin the field. Lambert way in front of him still has, I believe he has not made that second stop yet again, so to see when he comes back down, he might be trying to wait for a caution now.
And how about Malik Ray in the number 12? He's in what should be about 14th position, picking up a spot on Landon Huffman on pit road, I do believe. As I believe he came in behind Huffman and came out in front of him.
More stops right now. Fernando Bento. Brandon Jarrell off pit road. He's going to be the first one off. Hanson's going to follow suit. Here comes Vargas, then 26. So, the 20, Greg McKinney's blown up. So he's going to be done for the night. Tom coming off pit road. Moustakis, our emergency reporter. Brian Schoenberg as well. So is Casey Malone.
And looking back up front, leader is still Dylan Duvall by a full 9-second gap here. I mean, if he had a caution, he would be in the hot seat right now. But he's still expecting him to come off pit road. I do believe he just wiggled big time with 2 there.
Another person we haven't mentioned tonight in second place right now, PJ Sturgio, Sam Edwards in third. So these 3 guys are the only guys that have not pitted yet. It looks like top 13 on the lead lap right now, so caution would definitely shake things up.
And here comes Duvall to pit road, the leader. The number 9 machine slowing down, no problem getting on the pit road.
Good pit entry for Duvall there. He's gonna probably lost some time to lose us waiting so long to pit. That might cost him, but you never know. And a couple more guys heading down pit road as well.
I want to say that you could lose time on pit road, but they're going to be a little bit slower when they get back out in fresh tires. They're going to burn those tires up before that you do, so you're going to be able to make up that time, and if not more there with the better tires. I think that Duvall's strategy is really going to pay off in the end, especially with as many laps as we have to go. He can afford to do it, really.
Alright, well, we're going to welcome back Kyle Peddle to the booth. Kyle, you had some problems there, but welcome back. Dakota, thanks for filling in while he was gone.
Problem.
Alright, yes. Dakota Herman. Kyle, we'll go to you in a second, sorry. We're just finishing up green flag pit stops right now. PJ Sturgio's coming off pit road, so is Sam Edwards. Those guys are running towards the back, so they stayed out for the extra track position. Now, Kyle, we'll go to you.
I'll tell you what, sometimes these Canadian winters been crazy. I didn't realize how bad the blizzard was outside, and my computer got remoted there, but we're back. Gotta thank Dakota for filling in for me there on short notice there, but glad to be back in the booth.
Yeah, 25, Sam Edwards in the wall hard through 1 and 2. Hopefully John can key that up on the replay for us. It looks like he was trying to hold it on the apron exiting pit road, caught the turn 1 banking, and looped it up the track. No caution though, we're going to remain green, but heavy damage to the 25 machine.
Yeah, sometimes got to be careful coming out of pit road here. If you catch that white line and you get your right sides up on that track, and then your left sides are down on that apron, it can hook you up into that wall, or it can spin you out, and it's not a good time.
Yeah, Brian Schoenberg has pulled his car off. Looks like he's going to be done for the night, so tough break for Schoenberg. He ran some laps there, gained some spots, but it looks like he's had enough.
Alright, now we got a pretty close battle for 7th here with Kyle McCormick in the 17, or in the 22, Armando Vargas in the 17, and Thomas Davis in the 16. They're all on top of each other as Vargas goes underneath the 22, McKinney, as here comes Thomas Davis trying to make it 3 wide as they go off into 1 and 2.
Thomas Davis, we saw him involved in the earlier wreck. Looks like he was up the middle. Didn't cause it, but it was close. Being his fault, but he's going to work his way back up to the top 10 so far. Now I'm going to go up front right now, go through the field after pit stops. Looks like everyone's shuffled around. Two, Ryan Luza has the 1 second lead now. That's the benefit of short pitting on his teammate Brandon Jarrell. He's going to be in second, about a second back, 1.7 back Jason Karlovich in the 3, 2 seconds back Danny Hansen, and 3.6 back Dylan Duvall. So Dylan was the leader before it stops. He lost 3.5 seconds just by waiting so long.
Back in 5th, or back in 6th, sorry. And we're going to go back all the way back in 6th, 4.8 seconds back. It's going to be Armando Vargas. In 7th place, 5.2 seconds back is Thomas Davis. In 8th is Kyle McCormick, 5.3 seconds back. 9th is going to be Anthony Kernsch, and 6.8 seconds back. And rounding out your top 10 is Fernando Bento, 7.7 seconds back of your leader, Ryan Luza.
Yeah, definitely we got a battle for the 11th place right now. Landon Huffman, Lee Heron, teammates at Last Row Motorsports. They're battling it out right now. Malik Ray coming behind them as well.
It's been a tight battle. Lee Heron's been having a good run. And Lee started in 10th, so he's been hopping around where he started as he's all over the back bumper of Landon Huffman, trying to make a move as they go off into 1 and 2. Malik Ray, apparently what I heard from him is that he had no practice on his setup, so he's having a good run so far today.
Yeah, but right now we're going to talk to Brian Schoenberg. Brian, welcome to the booth.
Thanks, I'm glad I could be here. I wish it was under different circumstances. It'd be nice just to run a race without getting wrecked or anything, man.
Yeah, tell us what happened there. That happened about 50 laps ago now. Just walk us through what happened in your perspective.
Yeah, it was really early. I think it was basically lap 12 coming to lap 13 here, but it looks like David Cater and Thomas Davis were in a hurry to wreck themselves. The 16 was trying to stick himself in basically a hole I guess there wasn't really a whole lot of room for. But then again, there was room, and it looks like the 14 just came down and wrecked all of us, so that wasn't too good. I know he never makes any mistakes or anything, so I'm sure the car just turned left, on its own, down the straightaway.
Okay, Brian, and the car looks a lot faster than last week for sure. Tell us a little bit about who you got to thank for the setup this week.
I just gotta thank the guys at Day Show, I guess. I mean, that thing was really quick. It would have been fun to just run that race, but they found the setup on the forum somewhere. I don't know where they found it, but it was fast.
Alright, Brian. One more question. Me and Kyle were talking a little bit, and whisper, and we wonder if you want to stay for the rest of the race.
Sure, might as well.
Alright, so this is Brian Schoenberg. We're going to come up to the booth for the last 30 laps, and we got a car smoking on turn 3. We're going to see who that is. Looks like he's blown up.
Matt Whitten, yeah, his car's broken.
Okay, so no big deal there, Matt Whitten. He's done for the night. He's multiple laps down in 26th position right now. 34 laps down, so not going to get any more spots. He's going to keep on track, though, with the smoking car.
I'm not sure if we're going to get a caution here, but we're going to have Matt Whitten having some problems here. The guys over at Schmidt Chassis Rings built him a good car. He almost got ran over by Casey Malone right there. Got to be careful when you're on the inside line, but unfortunate day for Matt Whitten here.
Yeah, tough break there. He was involved in that first incident what Schoenberg was telling us about, so tough break for Whitten. We got more cars with damage as well on track right now. The 25 with damage. I'll look through the rest of the field here and see who else has damage, but a lot of damaged cars. The 28 in pit road as well, so a lot of these cars with heavy damage so far, and most of them done so far. I'm going to look through all the cars that are out of the race right now. 25 with heavy damage, we said 21st. Brian, who's up in the booth now, he's done 22nd. Greg McKinney, who we saw blow an engine, he's in 23rd. Max Paquette, who's on pit road right now, in 24th. Matt Whitten, we saw blow up, 25th. Dustin Montgomery, saw him fall through a while ago, never came back. Internet problems, going to keep him from finishing this one. Position number 26. Rich Doucette, David Cater, and Clayton Solowski. So those guys were all involved in that lap 12 incident.
Back up front, nothing's really changed so far. Ryan Luza is leading Brandon Jarrell right now. Guess we should have picked Luza again, but I guess sometimes you got to go with your gut, and I felt Jason Karlovich was going to have a good run today. But he is back in the 4th, right behind Danny Hansen right now.
I think with Karlovich, I think his car's been overheating every now and again, so on that last pit stop, maybe he's able to take some tape off and get it better. But from what the guys were saying on by radio, it looked like he was just trying to stay out of everybody's way and just get his motor cooled down. Same with Danny Hansen.
Yeah, those guys running the 50% tape that we were talking about earlier. I'm sure Danny took some tape off as well, Brian. I'm sure you know that.
Yeah, I think he did. I don't know, I was just so angry about being wrecked, I wasn't listening to them too carefully.
Well, that happens. But right now I want to point out that Brandon Jarrell is reeling in Luza a little bit. He came out a second ahead after pit stops. He's now down to half a second, cut the deficit in half. Still got 20 laps left, so plenty of time for Jarrell to catch Luza.
Yeah, but we have seen, though, over the run that Luza's car gets a little bit faster. gets a little bit faster as the run goes on here. So we're going to see if Lucy can pull away from the 13 of Brandon Jarrell.
Yeah, looking at the deficit that lap, Jarrell closed in to an ran an 023, 40.023, and to Ryan's 40.089. So Jarrell definitely closing in about a little under a tenth a lap right now.
So actually, we go a little bit further back. Danny Hansen ran a 40.018, but Karlovic is coming. He ran a 39.981, which is blazing fast right now with how many laps these guys have on these tires. So these two are definitely coming, and they're trying to see if they can put themselves in a position to win this race at the end here.
Yeah, looking at these guys in third and fourth, they've been the fast cars on track the last couple laps, faster in the front too, about just under a tenth, half a tenth. So these two, they might have enough time to get there. They're down to 1.3 seconds back. Hansen is. Jarrell's still closing in on Luza. So I mean, if these guys could battle for the lead, they're battling for the championship as well. It's a great battle between these two teammates.
Well, we haven't seen Danny Hansen from last week's struggles. J-Show Camp has kind of found a little golden egg right now, as we heard Schoenberg say that they got this one off the form. So sometimes those form setups can be really good, sometimes they can be really bad. But these guys obviously found a really good setup off the forms, and it's showing right now because Hansen is in third and he's holding off Karlovic and he's reeling in the front too.
Yeah, most of the time when you get them off the forms, though, they are really bad. But yeah, the times are really close between these guys. But as you guys were saying, boy, I just said you guys a lot here, but third, fourth, and fifth here, Hansen, Karlovic, Duval. Well, not Duval, just Hansen, Karlovic. They might have time to get up there.
Yeah, Duval was the leader for a while. We saw him lead a bunch of laps before pit stops, but I think staying out his extra laps really cost him. He lost a lot of time.
Yeah, sometimes you watch, even in the real NASCAR, is if you stay out that one lap, those guys on fresher tires are going to make up a couple seconds on you, and you're going to fall a little bit further back into the pack, as like you said, Duval came in first, and now he's all the way back in fifth. So sometimes you got to try to keep yourself on sync with other people, but if you do stay out that one extra lap, you really got to hit your in lap, and you got to really hit your out lap and not make any mistakes here.
Yeah, it's definitely really touchy as far as when you pit and when you don't. That whole pit strategy thing, I mean, it's a game where sometimes you win, but a lot of times you lose, depending on what you do. But I kind of like that strategy of staying out a little bit later, hoping for a caution, just kind of seeing what will happen. I do that strategy a lot over in the DWC series, and it normally ends up working out pretty good. The one time I didn't do it was the Las Vegas race, and probably could have won that race if that didn't happen, but anyway.
Let's focus the cameras on these guys running about 12th place right now. 3 wide, hanging at turn 1, 18 ahead, and underneath Moustakis and Ray. Looks like one of those guys clutched it. They're going to that turn. He might be saving a little bit of gas and take enough. Still 3 wide, Heron on the bottom lane, a little sideways, going to hold on to it. Moustakis going to clear Ray. Here comes EJ O'Rourke underneath Heron. Great battle between these guys for about 12th place.
Oh!
And Lee and EJ make some contact on the backstretch. They're going to hold on to it. Still side by side as they head down towards turn 3.
Man, these guys are battling hard with each other. Lee's got to be careful when he did make that when he had himself all the way on the bottom. As you see EJ O'Rourke go all the way to the bottom, you're going to get yourself pretty loose on the bottom here, as we're seeing Maliko underneath the 11 of Tom Moustakis. These guys have been apparently brawling for the last 10 laps, as we see EJ O'Rourke trying to block Lee Heron as they almost get together right now. These guys are looking ready to wreck each other if they keep racing this way.
I'm sure a lot of people would love that caution, but it looks like that battle might be starting to settle down now, as EJ gets that 14th spot.
I'm still racing up ahead of them for 12th though. Malik Ray going underneath the 11 of Tom Moustakis right now. This is for 12th. Ray gonna make it stick on the bottom there, second lane. You don't want to run the bottom. It's really loose down there. Ray though gonna not be able to clear him the 11. They're gonna stay side by side. They have some contact down the front stretch. Ray not giving a lot of room.
These guys have been brawling. I'm not sure if Moustakis is going to like that one. If we get a caution here, we're going to go inside and talk to him for a little bit, to what his thoughts about Malik. But Malik, what I've been hearing, like I said earlier off in the broadcast, is he had no practice on that setup, started 22nd, as wow, Malik is really loose off two there, almost takes out Moustakis. But yeah, Malik started 22nd, and he's all the way up to 12th on a setup that he hasn't really run, but he's getting pretty loose right now.
Yeah, and this almost looks like a disaster in the making, but so far they haven't wrecked yet. But yeah, this battle for literally 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, they've just been asking me to wreck this whole time. I said the battle between EJ O'Rourke and Lee Heron might be over, but Lee is closed right back up to him, so it definitely might not be over here. I mean, I think I just heard PJ Sturgis say, will you guys wreck already? So it's one of those things where it might be kind of frustrating to watch too if you're a couple of seconds behind, you know, as Sturgis is.
Yeah, PJ running back in the 17th position right now, right in front of him, PC Malone. But they're two guys we expected to see a lot of tonight running up front, but they haven't really been able to do anything. Malone started 18th, running 16th, PJ running 7th, he started 20th. These guys have been hanging in the back all race, really haven't been able to make any moves as the race stayed green for so long. They've lost a lot of time.
Yeah, they have. Casey Malone is now 17.7 seconds back, so these guys are really hoping for a caution. If they can get a caution here, they'll bunch themselves up, and it'll be about a 22 lap shootout here, and we're gonna have the field tighten up, and it's gonna be an interesting race to the end.
Yeah, but it's just one of those things at a place like Michigan, when it gets really strung out like this, it's really hard to find a caution. You know, so these people like P-Day, Casey, all them, they might not get it. I know they would love it, but I mean, now, hey, speaking of PJ, his brother sure been on there in the Pro Series.
Yeah, Jake's had a lot of great runs. I've watched him race. Won the Homestead race, the field mileage, you know, caution came out late, but we're not really going to talk much about that. As we're going to focus back on the battle for 12th once again. Tom and Malik battling very hard right now. So are these guys behind them. Lee's actually past EJ. EJ sends it into turn 1, almost gets to the back bumper, Lee.
Yeah, I've said before, sometimes you got to be careful. We're going to go up front here. We got a battle over for second between Danny Hansen and Brandon Jarrell here.
Yeah, Danny Hansen has gotten into the second position, and he brings Karlovich right with him for third. And I'll tell you what, you guys, with these two together here, it looks like Jason's actually pushing Danny a little bit on the straightaway. They might be able to get up to Luza here. We're coming around basically to about 10.5 laps to go down this backstretch. It might not be over yet. I mean, that 8 car, I mean, I hate to really just rag on him because he's sort of my teammate, but he's coming.
Yeah, Hansen looks really good right now. Karlovich working with them. That's really smart from a driver standpoint. Working the draft instead of bounding each other is going to save them a lot of time, and by drafting together, they're going to go faster, and Luza is by himself right now, so this will help them catch Luza. They still have time. Have to gain about 8 seconds right now, and that's in about 10 laps. It's definitely 8 tenths, not 8 seconds, in about 10 laps, so it's definitely possible.
Well, I've been watching them, and they're both been like half a tenth to a tenth faster than Ryan Luza. Now, these guys are smart. Danny Hansen has basically locked himself into DWC. Karlovich, he had a huge run last year in DWC. He was the first pro driver to skip pro and make all of his way into DWC. So these two know what it takes to win. So they're going to be hooked up with each other, nose to tail, and they're going to run down Luza, and they're going to see if they can make it interesting. Maybe have a 3-wide finish. That'd be pretty awesome here.
They'll try. Hansen just got a bunch of nobodies out of turn 4 there, but Karlovich is one of the smartest drivers I have ever raced against or seen at all, and he's going to stay right behind Danny right until they get there. And they gained about half a tenth that last lap on Luza, and it's just one of those things, the closer they get, the more drastic that closing rate is going to get down the straightaways with that draft and that toe in.
Yeah, the draft definitely plays a big factor here. Michigan, the very big track. The B car has a little too much draft, like some people have mentioned this year. I know we've seen that a lot at 1.5 mile tracks where guys close up a lot quicker than they really should be. Karlovich really gets a good run on Hansen out of turn 4 a lot of these times I've seen. And he's able to push him down the front stretch being longer than the back stretch. That's really helping their drafting.
Yeah, I've been noticing again, but looking at their lap times, Luza hit a 179 that lap, and Hansen hit a 119, and Karlovich hit a 145. So they're coming at this rate that they're coming. They're gonna sniff Luza's draft in about 2 or 3 laps here, and they're gonna be on top of him when it comes down to the finish. But we're gonna see, because Luza has had a strong car all day long.
Yeah, and this might be one of those instances where they would wish they would have maybe about 5 or so more laps left in the tank here to do something with them. They might get up there, but I mean, this lap, it just visually didn't look like they gained that much on them. Both of these guys, Hansen and Karlovich, are probably thinking, man, if we didn't give up all that track position and all that time, having too much tape on the last run, where would we be now? They didn't gain near enough that last lap.
Yeah, looking at it right now, we have 7 laps to go, 6.5 now. About 5.5 tenths back, gaining some time now. Lap car in front of Luza right now, see if that's going to play a factor here. lap car, those 28 at Maxwell Cat, multiple laps down, should let him go. He's going to go all the way to the wall here. Hansen and Karlovich are going to catch this guy, Mark Paquette, probably in front stretch. That's going to give him a little extra draft. That might help him catch Luza a little bit.
Now, I've been noticing as I go down the back straightaway that Karlovich has been ducking out as you see him duck out behind Danny Hansen. Maybe Karlovich didn't learn his lesson. Maybe he's got 50% tape on it and he's starting to overheat again.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Like I said, I can't recall, unfortunately, whether I know for sure if Hansen took 50 tape or not. I think they were kind of trying to decide at the last minute, and he might actually have 50 tape on it. Hansen might, but he's okay, obviously, because he has all that clean air at the moment. But you keep seeing the 3 car of Karlovich. You know, he just keeps ducking out down the straightaways now, and that's kind of hurting their push. You know, to speak of down the straightaways here, because he was kind of pushing Danny earlier and getting right up behind him. They were gaining a lot of time, and now he's not doing near as much as he was, so they're actually gaining a lot less. But now here we are, 5 laps to go, and they're just under half a second behind him.
They're going to need to gain roughly a 10th a lap right now to catch Luza. It's going to be extremely close. Not sure if Hansen's going to have time out of pass or not. I know when they close out about another 10th or so, they'll definitely be more of a draft in play. They'll have Luza's draft, and Hansen may catch him a little bit sooner than that.
We talked back about Karlovich and how smart and how good of a driver is. Back in Kentucky when we were racing the A car with me, Schoenberg, and Karlovich, I got a hint of how smart Karlovich can be. You know, I was leading the race most of the time and I had a bad pit stop, and Karlovich just worked my as we see Karlovich explode. He got remoted.
He got remoted. Well, he pushed it a little bit too far, guys, and that's what happens sometimes when you're really going for it. Let's hope this doesn't bring out a caution so we can finish the race under green. He's trying to keep it out of the way without bringing out a yellow. Dylan Duval actually is taking over the 4th place position, easy for me to say, over Brendan Gerald there. He tried to use the 28 car as a pick, but now the 13 tries to duck under him going into turn 3, but give the 4th spot to Duval.
That's actually the 3rd spot now that the 3's blown up, so that's only trying to see Hansen, no drafting help from behind. He has 3 laps now, 3.5 times back. I don't know if he has enough time, but he's definitely going to try.
Well, Hansen, even with no draft that lap, he's still been faster than Luza by half a tenth. So Hansen is definitely coming. He's got the draft off Luza, but he lost Karlovich, and if Karlovich was right behind Hansen right now, if they got to Luza, they would have had a freight train going on there. So, like you said, it's going to be interesting to see what Hansen can do if Hansen can get to the back bumper of Luza.
I think for Hansen, this race is just going to be a whole bunch of what ifs. What if this went this way? What if this went right? You know, but unfortunately, with racing, those what ifs don't make a difference at the end of the day on the results.
Hansen only gained about 200ths of a second that time. Definitely not enough time for him to catch him now. It looks like unless Luza makes a mistake or Hansen has a really fast lap, he's about 3.5 times back now. Luza trying to break the draft on the backstretch a little bit, but only 2.5 laps to go. Looks like Hansen still has too much of a gap to get there.
Now, Brian, I know you've been into this situation a bunch of times. You've been in Hansen's shoes, and you've also been in Luza's shoes. Now, at this point, do you start to feel things weird in the car when you're leading a race like this that you know that you can win? Maybe you start feeling looser than you normally do, or you may have scraped the wall and you feel that your car is broken at all?
I think if I'm Luza, I'm just trying to hit my marks and just saying, gosh, I really hope I don't screw this up. But that's about it. You know, with these cars, you can't really feel a whole lot, so it's not like you're really feeling or hearing things. You're just hoping you don't really screw up. And if I'm Danny Hansen right now, I'm probably just giving up.
Yeah, like he is probably going to give up almost. Well, he really has no choice now. Ryan Luza comes off turn 4, no mistakes there. Great race by Ryan Luza. He's going to come home with the win here at Michigan. Back-to-back wins, really going to help his championship hopes. Danny Hansen in second. Great comeback from last week. Look back for the battle for 3rd right now. Duval's going to take it. We'll look deeper in the field right now. It looks like no real side-by-side battles. 18 and 19 going to be side-by-side off turn 4. That's for the 12th position. EJ blocks the lead almost to the grass. They're sideways coming off turn 4. EJ's going to take the spot, though.
Well, EJ had a strong run. We threw out a couple mentions for him, like he said. We got the camera on him a couple times, and it's not because he stayed out and let it lap. So EJ had a solid day here, came home 12th. And Misaka says ran out of gas. So that's a tough break for our in-race reporter. He's going to finish the lap down, but Unfortunately, Steven, our picks didn't do too good tonight. I thought Karlovich was going to at least finish top 3, maybe top 2, but unfortunately blew up, and Dustin Montgomery had a heartbreaking moment when he fell out.
Yeah, I picked Montgomery, you picked Karlovich. Sorry, Brian, we decided not to go with you tonight. But,
I told you not to, but the car is actually pretty fast.
well, you made a good call there for me.
Yeah, glad I could help out.
Yeah, well, we're going to talk to some of our top finishers, hopefully. We're going to see if Ryan Luzame does a victory burnout here. He is. He's going to make some kind of Malik Ray after the race there, because Malik's just trying to slide around, so Ryan not really happy about that. But we're going to take a commercial break. We'll come back to some interviews.
Time is running out. We've got 5 laps to go. Huffman and Vincent battle it out for the lead. Meanwhile, Chad Cole dukes it out for second as they go into turn 2.
Landon Huffman coming to a comfortable lead, coming out of 2. He's got about 8 car lengths. Put it half a second over the wing distance as Chad Cole works the number 2.
And the winner in race number 1 of the chase for the RSR Full Throttle Cup Series Championship and the bottom of the race he made in $400 will be Landon Huffman in his Chevrolet 55. Huffman goes to
Landon Huffman coming to a comfortable lead, coming out of 2. He's got about 8 car lengths. Put it half a second over Dwayne Vincent as Chad Cole works the number 2 spot.
time is running out. Vincent's got it. Cole wants it in the wall. Chevrolet puts the bumper to the 13 of Vincent. Vincent not backing down. He's in second. You know, and we got 1 car on the bottom of the 10 cars.
Oh, I'm here with third place finisher Dylan Duvall. Dylan, tell us a little about your car tonight.
My car was great tonight. The start, it was a little bit loose, but after about 20 laps, it came in real nice. It just needed more laps there at the end to make the best out of it, but it is what it is. The car was absolutely amazing, though.
Yeah, Dylan, we saw you lead a bunch of laps. You decided to wait to make your pit stop. What was the call behind that?
Well, we weren't really sure how much fuel we should take, and filling it up would have been the worst thing to do because I would have lost even more time. So we were trying to figure out how much fuel we needed to take, and yeah, that's why my pit stop was delayed.
Yeah, Dylan, still had a good run tonight. Great to see you back in the series.
Thanks, Steven.
And I'm here in Victory Lane here, joined by Ryan Luza right now. Congratulations on the win there, Luza.
Thank you.
Tell us about the car tonight. It looked like a rocket ship on that long run.
Yeah, it was a good car. I thought Dustin had a really good car. I was surprised he blipped out there. That was a misfortune for him. I knew he was really fast, but car was very good. Been fast all week. That first run, I was kind of regretting taking 40 tape for the race. I was hoping I was going to be able to check out, but I think that was hindering me a little bit. But for pit stops, I went in, took 50, and I thought Hansen and Karlovich were going to get to me, but luckily I was able to hold them off.
Yeah, definitely. Those last 10 laps looked hairy with Hansen and Karlovich hooked up with each other. What was going through your mind as that was happening?
I was very nervous. I was just trying to hit laps, just consistent, trying to get the best lap I could, and just try to keep the margin they would gain small every lap.
Oh, and congratulations on taking over the points lead. I know Hudson didn't run tonight, which is unfortunate. And we're going to see you next week, hopefully at Milwaukee, and we're going to pass it down to Steven, who's caught up with the second place finisher.
Alright, I've caught up with Danny Hansen. Danny, you had a fast car tonight. Had to pass a bunch of cars early on, but you were able to get to the front. Tell us a little about your run.
Yeah, the car was an absolute rocket ship. Compared to what we ran last week at Charlotte, it was a real privilege to be able to drive a car that was that fast and that hooked up with the racetrack. Earlier on in the race, we were trying out 50 tape, and every time I tried to race anybody, the oil would blink. So I think I had to go from third probably back to 11th just to cool the car down. And I know I lost a lot of track position by doing that, so it was going to be an uphill battle for the rest of the race.
Yeah, tell us about the last 10 laps. We heard Ryan's view on the last 10 laps from what was going on in his mind. Tell us what's going on inside your head.
Yeah, me and Jason Karlovich hooked up. Thanks to him, I know he blew his engine trying to get one of us to win, so I got to thank him for that. It's a rough deal for him that he blew up, but I just cannot believe that me and him both had really fast race cars, and with draft nose to 10, we still couldn't get the win. I think we went from 1.3 seconds back to 0.3 at one point, but after Karlovich blew up, I don't know if it was because he wasn't on my tail or what the deal was, but the tires were just gone. I was just really tight, so I'm just right at home for second place finish.
Alright, who'd you like to thank for the help this week?
Jason Loafing, Brian Schoenberg, Carson Downs, Mike Conti, Tom Lewandowski, everybody over at J Show.
Alright, thanks Danny. Kyle's caught up with EJ O'Rourke now.
I'm here with EJ O'Rourke. Brought the point car home in 12th place. Tell us about your run tonight, EJ.
Well, it was another solid run for us, I guess. Everyone at Timmy Hill Motorsports with help from Schmidt and Chassis Works, but Motivated.com car was pretty good. Started back like usual and missed the wrecks, and had a fun brawl with Malik, Tom Moustakis, and Lee Heron. So that was a lot of fun. So bringing home 12th was a good run for us.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about what you were thinking about when that battle was going on between you four. It was looking pretty crazy from the booth.
Well, I was running real hot. The gauges started to blink, so I backed off with about 8 to go so I can charge with 3 to 4 laps to go. And Tom ended up blowing up, and he checked up Lee Heron, so I was able to get a run on him and get clear of him coming to the white. So I was able to finish right behind Malik in 12th, so I'm happy with that. It was a good run, gained some rating, safety rating.
Alright, you had a good run out there tonight, EJ. Who would you like to thank?
Again, Timmy Hill Motorsports and help from Schmidt and Chassis Works this week. Motivated Eyewear, everyone on this whole team.
Alright, and we're going to send it down to Steven, who's caught up with Fernando Bento.
Fernando, we talked to you when you were in the lead earlier. We faded a little bit. You hung on for 9th. Tell us a little about your race.
Hey guys, first thanks for having me here. I was having a blast, man. Look into the rearview mirror and see all those names behind me, I'm just learning, trying to do my best, and I was absolutely enjoying the stay there. Yeah, I decided to take 2 tires there on that first pit stop. Then I was messing up a little bit with the tape and stuff. I think I gave it a little bit of nudge to Dylan Sorry about that, by the way, mate. And I think it gave me a little bit of damage on the front or something like that. And after that, I got a bit problems with overeating and stuff, so I had to let go. Other than that, it was good, and I was figuring out what was the fuel that I was would have to take. I lost a bit of time there too, but you know, I was just hanging there and having a blast. Really, it was a dream race for me. I really hope I can do more, and yeah, that's it. It was awesome from my end. I loved it completely.
Yeah, you had some nice battles during the race with some of these front runners, Dylan Duval, Danny Hansen, Jason Carlos. Tell us a little about what it's like to run with those guys.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, but you know what? It's a relief because when you race beside when you race side by side with who knows what he's doing, it really helps. And for me, it's just a blast to keep learning from them and you know, watching their lines and everything and trying to get better and better.
All right, Fernando, thanks for your time here tonight. You had a great run. Congrats on finishing 9th place.
Thank you guys, and send out a word to Dalton for cheering, and Fast Track Sims are for sim racing, and Obudo. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you. All right, Kyle. So this week went a little bit better than last week. I think we agreed on. Tell us a little bit how your race was from the booth.
It was fun. There was a lot of action around the track. We're definitely a lot better than last week. We're focusing on a lot of things. Love this track. It's a very wide track. A lot of long green flag runs. But also, when the wrecks happen, they happen big.
Yeah, it was a very interesting race. I enjoyed it myself. Looking forward to next week at Milwaukee. We have a points battle. Ryan, Luza, Brandon, Jarrell. It's going to be a great show there. I guarantee it. Can't wait to see you guys next week. From all of us at Eat TV, good night.
Thank you.